me tell you, you are lacking moral clarity. And BBC, I must say, is lacking moral clarity. What you guys did last week, shame on you.
Yusuf, why are so many in the Western media willing to believe what Hamas tell them? Do they really think a group that is capable of torturing and slaughtering women and children is not going to lie to them?
You know what? It's even more than that. Think about the fact that take a media outlet like BBC, and I ask a simple question: where is your um, honesty? Where is what we call it real journalism? Where you call it being a reliable news source? Because what BBC has been doing in the latest or in the last 2 weeks is literally being a biased, one-sided with a terrorist organization that massacred. And I saw that, on the strike, people, 1,400 Israelis. I know that this is the official number right now. Unfortunately, we are still counting bodies. And from sources that I have, we're talking about another few hundreds of dead Israelis. That's the atrocity that happened on the 7th of October. Now, what's happening in the international media, or at least some of the international media, it's kind of like a game for them. They see it as a game. They see it as, we want click bites. We want to generate more and more people to enter so we can have better ratings. We can have a better selling commercials on our websites. And what a better way to do it than just paint the Palestinians as the one who are victimized by the evil and the strong Israeli IDF army and, of course, the country. I mean, just look not only just look at how the BBC is actually working. This is something is quite unbelievable to see even how Al Jazeera and other Arab media outlets are working. You know what they're doing to the Arab world? They are brainwashed. And for those who don't know, I'm an Arab Israeli. So my mother tongue language is Arabic. So I follow the media in Arabic. I follow the social media in Arabic. And what they're saying there is unbelievable. They're completely lying about absolutely everything. They said that Israel bombed the hospital. Until today, they haven't issued any correction. Nobody said anything about the fact that it was the Islamic Jihad who did that. Nobody said about the fact that Israel did not bomb a church in Gaza, because until now, the Arab world thinks that Israel bombed a church in Gaza. And nobody knows even why Hamas is hitting cache weapons under a mosque, and we have the proof for it. So these things we're seeing throughout the some of the international media, a lot of the Arab media, and you cannot not see that they are biased. But you know what? I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for giving me also the opportunity to send the message that Hamas is ISIS, and what what have they been doing for us since the 7th of October. They are making humiliating us, and they're humiliating us not because it's of course it's because of what they done on the 7th of October, but it's also because of what they're doing after that. Because after that, they're trying to paint themselves as they are a humane organization that keeps their kidnappers in a perfect conditions and try to help them. We just saw footage when they released the two elderly women. We just see them, holding their hands and walking with them, trying to manipulate the word that they are, humane. Guys, they are butchering us. They beheaded babies. They raped women. They killed Israelis. They burned them alive. They tortured they tortured families. Parents watched their kid being tortured. Kids watched their parents being tortured. And then you want to tell me, because of a footage of Hamas taking the kidnapped elderly people hand by hand, they're trying to show that they're humane. Please, if you fall for that, then you're nothing, and I apologize for my words, you're nothing but an ignorant. You're nothing but an imbecile. This is a terrorist organization. What they're trying to do is brainwash you and trying to give you the idea that they are in some way humane. They are animals. You know what? And if I'm saying they're animals, I'm actually assaulting the animals. They're inhumane, and this is what we need to do to say for everyone in the world must understand who they are. Don't get fooled by Hamas. I beg you, don't get fooled by ISIS Hamas. They're a terrorist organization.
Yes, if you attended a media briefing where the media from around the world saw the scale of the atrocities Hamas committed. The Israel government took the extreme measure of showing the world's media vision of some of these crimes that have been seen across Israel after the poor reporting, after doubts were cast about reports of decapitated babies and families burnt alive. Can you tell us about this briefing?
Yes. Rita, I've been seeing a lot of bad footages in the last 2.5 weeks. I've been seeing footages that I don't wish anybody in the world, to see. But today, it was something else. And for the last 2.5 weeks, Rita, I've been very strong. I did not break. And today, when the IDF exposed a 43-minute video of a raw footage from the GoPro cameras of the terrorists, and from the CCTV cameras were in the kibbutz and in some of the houses, raw footages that were for the first time revealed by the IDF in front of 200 journalists from the international media. And what I saw there is something that I cannot comprehend. I want to talk about the horrific footage that I saw of a father running away with his 2 kids, barely 10 years old, trying to go to a warehouse that was closed outside of their house. But Hamas terrorists, they run after them, and in front of the 2 kids, they shot the father and killed him in front of their eyes. After that, they dragged the 2 kids inside of the house. The kid was shot in the eye. The other kid was injured. Both of them were injured badly. And the Hamas terrorists, they find time to open the fridge and drink Coca-Cola. And at that time, one of the kids shouted, "Kill me, why I am not dead?" A 10-year-old kid is shouting, "Kill me, I don't want to be alive." This footage was seen by 200 international journalists. I beg the Israeli government, please release the footages. Release what I saw. The world needs to see this. Right now, I am the witness. Right now, this is my testimony. But there is actually footage for that can back up everything I'm saying right now. And the world needs to see what ISIS Hamas did to us. Do you understand how it was hard to see that kid begging to be dead? He wanted to die. Do you understand, Rita? That's the reality. And then the second thing, please, that I want to share with you.
Go ahead.
The second thing that I wanted to share with you is an actual talk between one of the terrorists while he was in the kibbutz in the south of Israel, calling his parents in Gaza. He was so happy that he killed 10 Israelis. He said that. You can listen to that. Everybody listen to that. And the father is telling him, "Praise God. Thank you. Come back." And he goes like, "I'm not coming back. I want to kill more." This is what we're dealing with. This is ISIS, Hamas, and I beg you, spread that message. And it's not only me, as an Arab Israeli citizen who's saying that. You have 200 journalists from the world are witness to what I'm saying, and they can verify that. And at the same time, I beg Israel, speak to the families, get authorization, and release the footage. The world needs and must see it to understand the ISIS Hamas. Please share this as much as possible.
Yosef, I can't imagine even just witnessing that footage, and those images are going to be burnt into your mind. And I feel for you, because it's incomprehensible, the cruelty that has been unleashed on these innocent people, civilians, just on a Saturday morning. We are seeing also footage at the moment of interrogation videos with captured Hamas terrorists admitting to committing some horrific atrocities. What have we learnt from these interrogations about what they did, who ordered it, and what's going to become of these terrorists who've been captured?
I've seen several investigations, and we understand clearly Hamas wanted first and above to target civilians. They are not even hiding it. We know that even before they entered Israel, they on purpose drugged themselves and take drugs like cocaine in order for them just to go and make those atrocities and the massacres. We know that they got a direct order from their commanders, the terrorists from Hamas, direct order to kill as much as possible, to humiliate, to behead, to rape. They wanted to rape. They wanted to kill, they wanted to torture, and they wanted to behead, and they wanted to kidnap civilians. That was one of the main targets. And another unbelievable thing that was found in one of the USBs on the terrorist, there were their instruction in order for them to build chemical weapons in order to actually spread it in the south of Israel and later further continuing to move on to the center and even to the north of Israel. This is what we understand from the investigation. What I also understand in the investigation that some of the terrorists who were captured, they were trying to blame everybody else beside themselves because, they know that they're being caught and they know that they're going to face a severe penalty and punishment. But make no mistake, just like Hamas, they're trying to, give the image of to the world that they are, they are not a terrorist organization and they're a resistant organization. We're not being fooled by those terrorists as well. We know the reality. We saw the footages. We heard the voices, and of course, we have still 200 plus kidnapped Israelis inside Gaza. And that's which brings me to my last point on that topic. Every time you see Hamas releases a footage of anyone who was kidnapped and brought to Gaza, and you see the footage that they're treating them like human beings and treating them in the best way, I want you to ask yourself just one question. How those Israelis found themselves in Gaza? Because one of the girls that her footage was released, that she was being treated in the hospital, few hours before that, she was partying in the south of Israel. Hamas entered Israel. Hamas injured her badly. Hamas kidnapped her and brought her to Gaza. Don't get fooled by ISIS Hamas. Please, look at the full picture.
Yosef Haddad, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.